Alright, so the first meal we're going to be making today is going to be our oatmeal, super oatmeal breakfast. So just for the oatmeal side, this one's going to be 600 calories, so very volume intensive. So to kind of break it down, we're going to have an ounce of almonds, so 28 grams, 4 tablespoons of sugar, brown sugar. If you don't like it or that's sweet, just go ahead and taper it down. Remember, that's not your problem right now. And then we're going to have a cup of oatmeal, a whole cup, dry, so it's going to be pretty big, but hopefully you can eat. And if you can't, you'll learn to eat the good food now. And then we're going to be using organ protein in this one, so if you are going to be using the normal way, then just go ahead and remember that you're only going to be using about half a scoop from the normal way. This one is pretty much just half of the normal way. It's a vegan one, and they usually have it at Costco on sale. So if you want to pick this up and follow it exactly, then go ahead. Otherwise, this is where we're gonna be learning how to kind of adapt it. So we don't have the exact stuff. You need to make sure that it just matches up correctly. So you'll have all of these numbers down below, and then you can just make sure that you're swapping out for accurate measurement. Alright, so the next one up is going to be the chicken teriyaki. So we have Kikkoman, the original teriyaki marinara sauce. This one has very little nutrients in it, so this is what we're going to be going with for the marinade. So because this is frozen right now, we're going to be using 2 pieces, and we're going to be throwing it in some hot water to try and get it to be able to cook a little bit faster. Alright, so after it's softened up, you guys are going to go ahead and take them out and go ahead and rinse them. Just make sure you don't get any nasty stuff on it. So for these, we're going to put little slits in them, or you can actually just cut the whole pieces. Alright, so after you get that chopped up, go ahead and dry it off, and then we're going to throw it into the marinade so we can let it marinate. Alright, so now let's get this cooked up and then get the rice cooking. So you can see it. We're going to be doing 100 grams of rice, dry, so it's going to be a good bit. Alright, on this one, go ahead and get the measuring cup, throw it on the scale, tare it first, make sure that it comes out to 0, and then you go ahead and throw back on with the weight, and it should have subtracted that initial however many grams your cup measure is going to be. So this is about 2/3 of a cup. It's going to be a good amount of volume, but the chicken isn't too crazy. One other little tip I have for you guys is not to play with your meat. Make sure that once it's flipped, like I'll show you this piece. That's how you know when it's time to flip it. So instead of just playing with it all the time, you just leave it for a little bit. And that's how you kind of get that like teriyaki charred, crispy bottom. So you'll have it burn just a tiny bit. Alright, the goal for this one is going to be like a crispy brownish. So let's show you guys what it looks like. Alright, so now that we got this all finished up, we'll show you what the portion size looks like. Alright, so for this next portion we're going to be working on the spaghetti. Go ahead and measure out 56 grams of the spaghetti noodles. So I'll go ahead and show you that here. That's what it looks like. Next part, you're going to go ahead and throw it in the water. That's already boiling. Hot. While we go ahead and let that marinate, we're going to go ahead and measure out our turkey. Boom. Go ahead and tear that one again. Fantastic. This one is, measure that one again. $118 grams for this one. So we're going to be using one pan for this one. Super easy, minimal dishes. First off, we're going to boil the pasta. Then we're going to throw it into a separate bowl while we wait. Then we're going to go ahead and throw in the meat to cook. Once we cook that up, then we're going to go ahead and add our marinara sauce. Ooh. Paul Newman's, they donate not 100% to charity. Oh yeah, 100% profits. Look at that. I was right. Very loyal brand. Yeah, I only have good things to say about Paul Newman and his products. And then we're gonna add 1/4 cup of ricotta cheese, the fat-free version. And then we're gonna add the noodles back in, and it's gonna turn into spaghetti. Alright, let's go ahead and get this thing strained, and then we can continue on with the rest. Now we can go ahead and get the meat thrown in there. Almost forgot about the greens. We're gonna go ahead and rinse these and then throw in the 1/2 cup of marinara and then the 1/4 cup of ricotta. So let's do the marinara first. We got that measured out. Got this measured out. Alright, so that was the last clip. For the meals that weren't prepared, those pretty much are just put together with whatever ingredients are in there. There's no cooking to it, so we skipped over those. I hope you get these in, make it taste good, enjoy it, because this is just the first 2 weeks, so get on with it.